Kite wings are usually used by kite surfers who are using high-speed winds to make fast rides on the ocean waves. You might have seen them on Instagram with kids hanging off them on these sand dunes. They look like lots of fun. But here, for the first time ever, a kite wing was used as an aviation tool. Hang glider pilot Wolfgang Sears decided to take this little wing and make a base jump on it from a hot air balloon basket. And to be fair, he flew that thing for quite a while. I'm really surprised how long he kept that wing stable. Once it started to spin up, he knew it was time to let go. Good effort, Wolfgang. Like with all stunt flying, please make sure you have the skills first. And we have one more stunt aviation news in this week's show, so hold on tight. Before we continue, please hit like, share and subscribe to our channels or support our mission via Patreon. Click on the link in the description to learn how to do it. We are kindly waiting for your involvement. It really helps to keep our content fresh and to keep us creating for you as well. Okay, my name is Regan Tetlow and this is Air Sports News. Let's go. First of all, we're moving to Brazil, where the 11th FAI World Paramotor Championship just ended. 74 pilots from 11 countries participated in this event, so let's check out who was the best this time. Pilots competed over the Saquarema state within the Rio de Janeiro region with amazing landscapes all around. Only the first day tasks were cancelled due to bad weather conditions. 43 pilots flew in the PF1 class with special trikes mounted to the wing and 20 pilots in the PL1 class, starting and landing by foot. In the PF1 class, Pascal Biondo from Italy took the gold medal. Silver goes to the French pilot Cyril Lanton and bronze to his teammate Jean-Aimé Ola. In PL1 class, third place goes to Marcelo Martins from Brazil, second to Michael Mere from France, and first to Boris Thijsbart, also from France. The French team took the gold in nations classification, winning with second place Brazil and third Qatar. Congratulations to all competitors. Now some important information before the 11th FAI Women's World Gliding Championships that will take place in August this year. Because of the war in Ukraine, female pilots from this country have massive problems to train and even take their gliders to the event. It's just too dangerous right now. But there is a solution. Now support is crucial for Ukrainian women pilots to be able to take part in the World Gliding Championships because it's the gliding equivalent of the Olympics. Two competitors, Alina Yamashuk and Valentina Topova, aspire to take part in the event, and the WWGC has already arranged gliders for them with help from British pilots and are in the process of finding camping equipment for their stay. So now the community is looking for help to cover other costs. If you would like to support the Ukrainian team, you can donate via the GoFundMe page. And we're staying a little longer in the world of sailplanes because the FAI has officially ratified a new European sailplane record. The new one was set by French pilot Baptiste Innocent. On the 5th of August 2021, the French pilot achieved a free triangle distance flight of 1,308 kilometers and a triangle distance of 1,178.8 kilometers aboard his ASH-31 Schneider glider. What makes his excellent performance special is the course he chose, which included 2 long stretches over the Mediterranean Sea. After taking off from his home club in Fayence, France, he flew over the sea to the island of Corsica before heading to the northwest of Italy and landing back at his starting point. Our first special guest this week is not only a hot air balloon pilot, he's also a balloon manufacturer and producer. He knows almost everything about the sport and the gear modern pilots are using in competition and recreational flying. Recently, together with Sandra Rolfe, he set a world record for the longest duration in a tiny AX4 hot air balloon. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Wild Bill Whelan. You were repairing your own balloons?
Yeah, when I first started in the hot air ballooning, there were no maintenance people around that knew anything about balloons. So you being the person I am, I said I'm going to find out whatever I need to find out. And after you find it, but I have to get it signed off by another aircraft maintenance engineer. And back then, there were very, very few around. I met a friend of mine that was flying balloons, and he was also a maintenance guy, and he needed to repair something, and he went to do the repair, and I said, there's an easier way of doing that. And he says, how? And I just reached into my toolbox. I said, how about this? And he goes, you need to be an aircraft maintenance engineer. And so today I am, but that was like 35 years ago I did that.
So you're a fixed wing pilot as well?
No way. Why would you want to fly in something a hard body? Soft. Everything is a nice soft body aircraft around here, Technically, we don't land at an airport, so technically you crash land every time you land. If you don't return your aircraft to an airdrome, then you're considered to be crashed. But it's a good time. We have probably built more than 30 balloons in the last several years. So, but I'm specializing in mostly special shapes and stuff.
To start to build a balloon, what an incredible process. I mean, tell me about your first one and how that came to be that you were going to build a balloon.
Well, there's an experimental balloon meet down in the United States, and we went down there, and the first time I went down there, I watched all these guys do this stuff, and I went, oh my God, this is pretty simple to do. And then, back then, we didn't have a computer, we didn't have anything else. And when I first started building balloons, I mean, we used to use something called a slide rule. That was what we used, a slide rule. And, we used a pencil, we used an eraser. It scraps the paper and away you go.
And the Air Sports Promotion YouTube channel is where you can find the full-length interview with Bill, amongst hundreds of other air sports chats we made during the last 2 years. And please, don't forget that you can support our job via Patreon, and please find the link in the description below. Pilot and skydiver Luke Akins has claimed responsibility for going through with last week's failed Red Bull plane swap. The FAI denied a request for an exemption from regulations prohibiting required crew members from leaving their stations when an aircraft is in flight. During the attempt, which was put on by Red Bull with live streaming on Hulu, Akins and his cousin Andy Farrington tried to take off in one aircraft and land in another, after sending their planes into a nosedive and jumping out of them. Akins succeeded in making the swap, while Farrington parachuted safely to the ground after the modified Cessna 182 he was attempting to enter spiraled out of control and eventually crashed. No one was injured in the stunt, and a few days ago Luke Akins released a statement taking the blame for continuing the stunt, even though the Federal Aviation Administration denied his request for permission. At the end of April, the local German gas ballooning event was taking place. It was one of the most important trainings for gas balloon pilots before the Gordon Bennett race that will take place in Switzerland later this year. Richard Schultz-Waffard 2022 claimed 6 teams. The rules were quite simple. The winner is the crew that covers the longest distance in 22 hours of flight. There were 2 potential strategies, either to fly immediately to 3,000 meters and go east, or look for layers of wind northwest below 1,000 meters. Matthias Rekers from Team Poland reported that the first strategy gave them a greater potential chance of winning, but with the prospect of spending 10 hours at a temperature below 10 degrees, chilly. And for the first time, a Lithuanian pilot has got to train their skills on a gas ballooning event and may enter their own team in the future. Congratulations to all teams and everybody involved in this competition. Okay pilots, what would you do if your airplane engine had only 3 horsepower and this aircraft was 99 years old? Would you fly? Well, guys from the British Shuttleworth collection did, and the flight was a big success. The Wren aircraft was built in 1923 and is powered by a 3 horsepower flat twin motorcycle engine. It was designed with encouragement of a £500 prize offered by the Duke of Sutherland to develop practical light aircraft for private ownership. Entrants had to build the most economical light single-seat aircraft. The Daily Mail also chipped in with £1,000 in prize money for the longest flight by a motor glider with an engine of not more than 750cc. The Wren came joint first after covering 87.5 miles on 1 imperial gallon of fuel. Wow. Science is a passion of my second special guest this week, especially chemistry, anatomical research and educational laboratory works. But her passion is hot air ballooning, and inside the Ballooning Federation of America, she's with Erin Bear. You're involved now, we chatted and touched a little bit on it, the Aeronauts, is it? Can you tell me something about that?
Yes, the Aeronauts is a part of the BFA, the Balloon Federation of America. The Aeronauts stands for Aeronautical Navigators Under 30. So we are specifically the balloonists under 30, but we're trying to branch out into all aviators and really just drum up some excitement about ballooning and flying, and really get people involved and educate them along the way.
And what's the process then? How are you thinking you're going to do this over the next coming months and years? How are you going to
our hope right now is to develop a social media presence so that we can create a source of content that new people can start to understand what ballooning means and what it is and how safe it is, and then beyond that we'll offer kind of educational courses throughout the year, so that people that are joining us and people that are already here can continue their education and learning more about ballooning, specifically things like how to compete in a balloon, how to fly rides, and how to do it just for yourself.
Give us a rough rundown how competition works, how you compete.
Competition is a really broad subject for ballooning. Generally, there are kind of two main areas of competition. There is flying to a specific spot, either in the air or on the ground. And there is flying to a specific spot and then dropping something out of the basket onto a target on the ground. You can check out the whole conversation with Erin on our YouTube channel. As always, please don't forget to hit like and share and the notification buttons as well. Our Patreon platform is still available as well, and the link is in the description below this video. Thanks very much for all your help. NASA says its newest space observatory, the James Webb Space Telescope, has completed its alignment and is ready to begin its final stages of commissioning. Webb is a mere 2 months away from beginning scientific operations. These remarkable test images from a successfully aligned telescope demonstrate what people across countries and continents can achieve when there is a bold scientific vision to explore the universe. According to NASA, the first full resolution images from Webb should arrive this summer. Do you remember the X-Wing space combat craft from the Star Wars saga? Well, did anybody check if this kind of craft are flyable here on Earth? Well, this one aeromodeler pilot from the USA sure did. This own design model was made using 2 sets of old foam veneer wings. The ailerons are at the lower wing only to give roll control, but also to correct yaw. John Woodfield, who created this X-Wings glider, was able to fly it on a ridge and slow the glider down enough to just flip it in for a nice, safe landing. Okay, it's time to check who's in the Hall of Fame section this week. On the 1st of May 1927, Charles A. Lindbergh continued flight testing of the new Ryan NYP Spirit of St. Louis over the following week from the Camp Kearney Parade Grounds near San Diego, California. On the 1st of May 1930, the Aeronautics Branch Department of Commerce issued Transport Pilot's License number 5716 to Amelia Mary Earhart. The certificate is in the collection of the Purdue University Library's Archives and Special Collections. On the 2nd of May 1952, the de Havilland Comet passenger jet departed London for Johannesburg, South Africa, with 36 passengers and a crew of 7. The approximate 7,000-mile flight was expected to take 23 hours 40 minutes, with intermediate stops at Rome, Beirut, Khartoum, Entebbe and Livingston. On the 2nd of May 1977, First Lieutenant Christine E. Slott was the first woman in the Air Force undergraduate pilot training program to solo in the Northrop T-38A Talon at Williams Air Force Base in Arizona. She was a member of Class 77-08, which entered on the 19th of September 19... This was the 8th episode of the 11th season of Air Sports News, and we'll see you again next Wednesday. But before you go, on your way out, don't forget to help us by sharing, liking, subscribing, or joining us with Patreon. I'm leaving you with amazing shots from the Blue Angels aerobatic team flying over Chicago. So as always, stay safe and keep your eyes on the skies.